Hello and welcome to The Good Times, a show where two guys discuss things that don't make the headlines because most likely nobody would care. I'm Zach.
And I'm Bryson, and we're here to bring you your weekly dose of existential dread repellent.
Bryson, what was something that you used as existential dread repellent this week?
Chicken sandwiches.
All right.
Now hear me out here. So we've been in talks because this is a very serious topic here. Chicken sandwiches.
It's very divisive, surprisingly.
Absolutely. And so we figured, we've tried every chicken sandwich that there is available to us because we're very big fans of the art of the chicken sandwich.
And note, he said available to us, so don't get mad at us when we don't bring up your favorite chicken sandwich.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've also decided to not include some of the more niche restaurants that are only available to us.
Some of them that are meant to be more fancy, like Red Robin or Cheesecake Factory. We're going for more of like the publicly available, for the most part, sort of fast food style chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we've decided to do is, since there is so much variety out there of chicken sandwiches, we've decided that we're going to rank them. But we've done it blind. So we've independently scored each of these restaurants based off of taste, price, and the wild card factor.
Which can be literally anything. Like, we decided that there's oftentimes each place has its own thing that is not always the same, like customer service or, just the general childhood memory-ness of the place, but that there's usually some other thing that contributes to the goodness of that place.
Exactly, and that's hard to quantify in a bunch of different categories, so we've just decided to wrap it all into one category, the wild card.
So the wild card factor, and everyone's wild card factor can be different. You're going to hear about our wild card factor.
Oh yeah, our scoring is totally arbitrary.
Anyway, before we dive into that though, why was chicken sandwiches your existential dread repellent?
Oh man, there is no better feeling than when you've had a rough day or when you're too busy to cook and you just go out and grab yourself a cheap and delicious chicken sandwich.
And we're probably going to talk about food a lot on this podcast.
Yeah, you can't blame us if after this you run out and go grab a chicken sandwich.
Yeah,
we would have, but we already did that for the research of the show and no other reason.
All right, let's get started. So our control test were freezer chicken sandwiches because it's kind of like your baseline. There's not anything really distinct about it, and we're going to be scaling on everything on a scale of 1 to 10. And so we've put a freezer at a 5. Everything else is going to be blind, but the freezer chicken sandwich is going to just be a straight 5, and if it's worse than a freezer, it'll be lower than 5. If it's better than the freezer, it'll be better than 5.
Exactly. And we felt like that was a good middle point because that's something that everybody has available to them. And I don't know about you, but whenever I make a freezer chicken sandwich, the brand is pretty ambiguous. Yeah. It doesn't really matter. They're all taste about the same.
I can never really remember what the brand is of freezer chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
So just whatever freezer chicken sandwich is available where you're at is probably the one we're talking about.
Exactly, because you probably don't know which one that is either.
See, but, okay, so the wild card factor for me, I'm going to skip taste and price because that's pretty ambiguous in this one because, it tastes like a chicken sandwich and the price is roughly, I would say probably $2-ish per sandwich in the freezer section. Does that sound right?
Man, because you have to think about because you kind of have to assemble it yourself if you're not buying one of those like microwave ones that have everything. And so like the patties can be pretty cheap, like 25 to 50 cents, but then you got to think of the bun and you got to make it yourself, and that's a major detractor on it. So we do understand that all of these places are going to get points for the fact that I don't have to make it.
Yeah, that's true. But whatever, we'll kind of set that aside. My wild card factor though for freezer chicken sandwiches is that I don't have to leave the house.
Yeah, and that's true. For
me, not having to leave the house is a solid 5 on the wild card factor.
Yeah,
so,
I would actually say that kind of evens it out.
Yeah,
you don't have to make it if you go out, but you have to go out to get it.
Yeah, so I think all around we can reasonably say that a freezer chicken sandwich is just a solid 5. So we'll go on to the next one, and this was my idea, because honestly, cafeteria chicken sandwiches from like a high school cafeteria kind of have a bit of a soft spot in my heart. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1 and then say our score.
Perfect.
This is average.
Yeah, and this one's great as well because if you went to the high school in the United States and probably even in like Canada or so, it all comes from the same distributor, so you know exactly what chicken sandwich we're talking about.
Yeah, you've probably had it before if you went to public high school. Okay, what was your score? 3, 2, 1, 6.
6.6.
Okay, so we were pretty even on that
Okay, I gave it a little bit more. I know what offset it, so what did you put for taste?
So for taste, for me, I put a 4.
Same.
Because it's just slightly worse than making it at home.
I'd almost rather go home to eat.
Yeah, for just the taste, I would rather just make a freezer chicken sandwich at home because I know I can make it better.
Oh yeah, and to be fair, it's been almost a decade since I've eaten one. Even back in high school, once I got my car, I stopped eating at the school.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Well, I didn't get my driver's license until I was almost 18, so I had to rely pretty heavily. Yeah, I had to rely pretty heavily on that cafeteria food.
So this is where I think it probably deviated because I put price at 10 because I wasn't paying for it.
Oh yeah, that's true because your parents were.
The ultimate price.
Oh my
free.
Gosh. That's okay. So everyone, just so you know, Bryson doesn't think highly of chicken sandwiches from high school cafeterias, except for the fact that his parents paid for them.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And then I gave Wild Card a 6 because it's a pretty unique idea. You think back at high school and the good and the bad and all that. So it's only a little bit better than a freezing chicken sandwich.
Yeah. For me, I put the taste at a 4, and I put the price at a 7. I didn't really consider that my parents were paying for it. I think that might be good grounds for me to increase.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because at any time, if we feel like we make a valid enough argument to change our scores, then we do have that open to us. So.
Yeah, and so I think I might adjust my my price category for that one once we're done. But I put a 7 for the wild card factor.
Okay.
Because for me, high school chicken sandwiches from the cafeteria were like a break from getting sack lunches.
I see. Okay.
I got sack lunches a lot in high school, and so when I got to go to the cafeteria and get something that wasn't like a peanut butter and Nutella sandwich, which now I will eat a peanut butter and Nutella sandwich gladly because I haven't been eating them every single day for 5 days in a row. But back then, having a break from a peanut butter Nutella sandwich and getting a chicken sandwich was like, it was really nice.
Those were the primo days.
Yeah, those were the primo days. Well, it was either that or a baked potato with a lot of nacho cheese.
So I remember back when I first started high school, they used to have the greatest fries ever. And so everyone would go what was dubbed as the fry line, and that's where you would get chicken sandwiches. You'd get basically a bed of fries. This is public school. This is what we feed the children in America. Is you get like a pound of fries, and then they slap on this cheap chicken sandwich on top of it. But it was so much better than all the other, frankly, far worse options that you could choose. So.
Oh, man. No, yeah. My high school, they had like probably 6 different options, with one of them being like the variable option. And so like there was always chicken sandwiches, there was always baked potatoes, but then there was like the food of the day that changed, and it'd be like Hawaiian haystacks or like your typical lunches that you would have way back in like elementary school stuff, but brought back to high school.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I never went in that line.
Yeah, there was pizza sometimes.
The sad thing is I remember the line for the salad line was the best one to go to if you wanted to get your food quickly because no one got salads.
That's true. Salad was always an option. Yeah. That was one of the lines that was always there.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And so when I got a chicken sandwich in high school, it was kind of a nice break for me. So that definitely upped my score a little bit. So as you can see, we both gave high school cafeteria chicken sandwiches possibly a slightly higher score than it should have gotten.
It's better than food from your freezer. I guess that's what we've decided.
Okay. All right. So the next one is McDonald's. It's everywhere. It's a multinational food chain. Even if you're across the world from us, you've probably been there.
Yeah, you can get a McChicken in Italy with your McWine. No kidding. So that gives it some extra points, because if you are craving a McDonald's chicken sandwich, you can get it anywhere.
That's true, and you probably don't have to go too far to get it unless you're literally out in the boonies, which you might be. And
even then, there's McDonald's there.
And if you are, I don't know what to tell you. You probably won't be able to access most of the ones we talk about today.
Yeah. Sorry, this probably doesn't pertain to you.
Okay, so score in 3, 2, 1, 5.7.
7.7.
Oh, okay.
So I gave it a higher score. I wonder where we changed.
Yeah.
So what did you give for taste?
For taste, I gave it a 3.
Really?
Because for me, I do genuinely like freezer chicken sandwiches better.
Okay.
I feel like there's more substance to it when you like make it at home. versus when you go to McDonald's. That it's almost a little bit skimpy.
Now, I think we should probably mention that we aren't talking about their like buttermilk chicken or any of their fancy chicken sandwiches.
No,
I'm not spending more than a couple bucks at McDonald's.
No, yeah, and at that point, if you're spending $7 or $8 at McDonald's for a chicken sandwich, why are we talking about this?
And it's probably not going to be able to compete with the chicken sandwiches that actually are that price. So we're going to give it the where it does reign supreme is its price.
Yeah, and the competition is in the price. So I gave it a 3. What was your taste score?
I think this is where we changed a lot because I gave it a 7.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe now that I'm thinking about it, it wasn't as good as it is. But I think, I mean, I've had it so much through college, especially because there was a McDonald's just right across the street from my university.
Okay.
So I would go there and have a $2 lunch. I get 2 of those, and that was what I do.
Yeah.
And I think that I've just grown to really like them. and I'm referring to the hot and spicy. You can get a regular McChicken in other places. Like I got one in California, and that was weird. But like, I think you need to have it only in the hot and spicy variety. But.
So okay, I wasn't actually judging my taste off of the hot and spicy because I think if we do go to hot and spicy McChicken.
Oh, you just get regular McChickens?
No, yeah.
What's wrong with you?
No, yeah. Okay, so the weird thing, maybe I should have given McDonald's an even lower score than I thought because.
Oh, you don't like the hot and spicy?
No, I do. I do like the hot and spicy, but the thing is, they charge $1 for the hot and spicy, or I think it's $3 for a regular McChicken.
Oh, okay, yeah, because you can get like 3 hot and spicy McChickens, and that's a feast for $3.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I need to adjust mine then. So for taste, I'm gonna give it a 6.
Yeah, because we are thinking about it in relation to the price, as well as the price itself. Because even if something's like say $1, but it's amazing, then that's an extra good value. Whereas if it's $6 but it sucks, then it's an extra worse price.
Yeah. So what's 20 divided by 3?
20 divided by 3.
Okay, so my score went from a 6 to a 6.6 because of taste. Now, here's the stupid thing. I knew that the McChicken costed like $3, where the hot and spicy McChicken cost $1, but I still scored the price based off of the hot and spicy McChicken.
Oh, really? So you just kept flipping back and forth?
So I don't know, I couldn't make up my mind.
Well, so what did you give for price?
So for price, I gave it an 8.
Oh, okay, I gave it a 9.
Because
that is such a solid deal.
Because for $1, you're getting the whole. I mean, even if it's not that big of a sandwich, you buy 2 of them and you're good to go.
And plus, it is like 400 calories. Like, where are you getting 400 calories of food for $1?
It's crazy. Yeah. And then for the wild card factor, I gave it a 6. And for me, the wild card factor with McDonald's is solely that it's so available that if you're craving it, you can get it probably anywhere.
Yeah. I gave it a 7, so for the same reason as that. And also, I am a big fan of their little kiosks, the order kiosks, rather than having to go up to somebody. Because I don't like talking to people, and so, but it's great because you can customize stuff. And for the longest time, you used to be able to throw on like a piece of cheese onto the McChicken for 15 cents, and then you could throw on tomatoes for another 10 cents or so. So you'd have a full-on chicken sandwich for like $1.30. That's a pretty solid deal.
That is pretty.
Then
solid.
They changed it, so maybe I should readjust my wild card.
No, yeah, but I've not seen anywhere else that has that little kiosk that you can order. So that's.
Oh yeah. I mean, really good. It's been so nice. Yeah, I haven't found any major fast food. I mean, I feel bad. I mean, it's replacing jobs. But.
I guess Olive Garden maybe has like the thing that they bring around that has like the games and stuff.
I've
Does
never
that have a
ordered
menu?
off of that. I know you can, and the same. My wife is a server, and where she works, she has those little kiosks or whatever. And I know that you can order it on there. I've never done it. I think that when I sit down, I do want somebody to come and talk because I'm like, I guess I'm paying for the part of that.
Yeah, it's part of the experience. They have a waiter come and give you your food.
I don't tip the machine.
The machine, I don't know if it was at Olive Garden, but the place I went to this one time, they had that little thing where you pay on that little device that they put on your table. Yeah. And I like charged it on my card and everything, and it was like, okay, do you want a receipt? And I said yes, because I wanted. It was a little machine. I wanted to see what happened. Would they bring me a receipt or would it print it? And so I hit yes, and it started printing right out of the machine. And I was like, well, sweet, I'm getting my receipt. it printed like 6 feet of paper.
Yeah, it's like a Walgreens receipt or a CVS receipt. It's nuts.
It just kept printing.
And because they print so much, they're always out. So I always choose the little print option because I don't want them to have my email.
Yeah.
And so I press it, and then like they're always, and then it starts alerting that the server should come over. I'm like, no, don't do that. I don't need it that bad. And then I just get up and leave.
Like, I'm so embarrassed. I don't want to talk to this person about my receipt.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the next one that we did was Wendy's, and
all right, I have some very personal feelings about Wendy's.
I do have some stuff I'll talk about with Wendy's too. So
okay.
3, 2, 1, 7.
8.
Okay.
All right.
So we're both favorable for Wendy's, but
man,
not
I thought it was
quite
gonna
the
be
same.
way harsher, but I guess my scores have been pretty high. So that's
No, yeah,
not too bad.
I am a big fan of Wendy's chicken sandwiches. For them, I gave them a 6 on the taste, because it is really good, but it's, in my opinion, only slightly better than a freezer chicken sandwich, which is the opposite of the high school cafeteria, which is only slightly worse.
I see what you mean. For me, I chose an 8 for Wendy's for taste. Because every time I bite into it, I think I'm getting this for $1, and it just makes it taste so much better.
So the price contributes to the taste.
Price contributes to everything of whether or not I like it. I'm just a stingy dude.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if you guys have ever been out to eat with him, but he will not spend
I think you'll
more than
find
$10.
that out later when we talk about some of the more expensive
Yeah,
sandwiches.
yeah. Okay. Well, here we go on that one. So for the price on Wendy's, I gave it a 7 because you can get it for $1.50.
Yeah.
It's. I didn't give it the same as McDonald's, which I gave an 8 for price because it's not quite as cheap. But I mean, the price factor is also like the bang for your buck.
Yeah.
And not necessarily just what's the cheapest. And so like for me, I feel like Wendy's is only slightly worse for the value for the price than McDonald's.
Yeah, see, I had the same rationale, except I gave McDonald's a 9 on the price, so I gave an 8 for Wendy's.
Yeah.
Now, finally, for wild card, because I swear I'm about 20% Wendy's chicken sandwich now, I gave it an 8, just because of all the great memories that I've had of grabbing chicken sandwiches. I got them all through college, through high school. I mean, man, is my diet that bad? Only when it comes to chicken sandwiches.
Yeah. So for the wild card factor for me, I gave it an 8.
Okay.
Because the thing that they have at Wendy's that they don't have at a lot of other places is the Wendy's 4 for $4.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about it. I need to change out my price just based off of that. If we're including the overall meal, then Wendy's wins every time.
Oh yeah. So like for me, the wild card factor of the 4 for $4 is like it's $4. You get a sandwich, you get fries, you get chicken nuggets, you get a drink.
For $4, that's
that
amazing.
Is so solid.
No, it sounds like we're just a bunch of corporate chills at this point, but man, it's just such a good deal. The one thing that I will say that I'm a little upset about the whole 4 for 4 thing is you used to be able to get the chicken BLT on the 4 for 4, and they changed it to the original, and it made me so salty I didn't eat there for 2 months.
Yeah, don't you have to add like a whole $1 for the BLT?
Yeah, and I think that's just too much.
Yeah,
for some B and some T.
There were so many times that I would drive through, I wouldn't even look at the menu. I'd just be like, can I get a 4 for 4 with a crispy chicken BLT and a Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. And then the one day that they're like, actually, we don't do the crispy chicken BLT with that anymore, it was like my soul left my body for a second. I'm like...
It's like the day that you find out that Subway no longer does $5 footlongs.
Yeah, where it's just like, my whole identity's in crisis.
When I was in Cincinnati, they changed Little Caesars Pizza from $5 for a pizza to $5.55.
I do remember that, yeah.
It blew my mind. I was like, how could they charge more than $5 for the same pizza?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. But then
what
again,
are you adding to it?
Then again, where I was at, they also don't charge sales tax on carry-out orders. So that might have been a contributing factor to it. So like literally, I would go to Panda Express in that same area, and they'd be like, are you dining in or carrying out? And I would say I'm carrying out so that I wouldn't get charged sales tax, and then I would dine in.
There you go. That is one major gripe that I do have in the US is that we don't include the sales tax into the price.
So dumb.
We need to get with the times. I just want
Seriously.
to know how much I need to pay for something when I pick it up.
Yeah, like how many countries still do this?
Probably. This is so many of the things that we do. We still use the imperial system versus metric. We just like to be different, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. Okay, so next up, this is going to be a big... I feel like this is going to be very divisive.
Yep, I think so.
It's Chick-fil-A. Now...
I'm afraid that it's going to get people angry when I say what I'm going to say.
So, we're going to preface this by saying, please do not send us death threats over our opinion on Chick-fil-A.
It's just a chicken sandwich, guys. It's all right.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
4.3.
Oh my gosh.
I'm literally half the score of you. Okay, give me your reasons.
I gave it, the Chick-fil-A was the only place that I gave a 10 out of any
10.
subject.
Wow. Okay.
I gave it a 10, and it's because when you go to Chick-fil-A and you bite into that crispy, juicy, slightly sweet, slightly salty, it gives me chills.
Okay, all right. So you give it a 10?
10.
Okay, that was its highest category I gave it. I won't deny that Chick-fil-A has a decent tasting sandwich.
So good.
But just in the same way that when I bite into a Wendy's chicken sandwich and I think, only $1, I think, wow, this was a waste of money. And I gave it a 7.
I can't feel that. Like, I felt it on the Wendy's when you knew you were paying less for it, but I can't feel it on the other hand.
Yeah, it's an indulgence for you. And that's okay, you know.
No, I bite into it, and I can't think of anything other than that taste.
All right, well then what did you give for it for price?
So for price...
that is a big sticking
okay, so again, this is more bang for your buck than it is...
I don't think it's a bang for anything.
It's like value for what you're paying for it. And for me, a 10 in taste means that even though you're paying more for it, that you're still getting what you pay for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree with that. I just don't think you're getting what you're paying for. But what did you get?
So for me, I put an 8.
I give it a 3.
Oh my gosh. I disagree because it's the same price. Okay, we'll go on. We'll talk about Carl's Jr.
So
later.
Here's what I put. This is the frame of mind that I'm at. Would I rather have 6, count them 6, Wendy's chicken sandwiches for the price of one Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich? Hell no.
But that's the thing, is like, with Chick-fil-A, when I go there, I don't go there because I want a lot of food. I go there because I want dang good food.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so, like,
agree to disagree.
For me, on the wild card factor, one of the things that factored into the 9 that I gave it on the wild card factor is the fact that when you have that hankering, when you have the craving for Chick-fil-A, nothing else satisfies it.
I will give you that. So I agree with that, and maybe I should adjust my wild card to be a little bit fairer.
Yeah.
Because I gave it a 3.
Because
I've had no good experiences from Chick-fil-A.
That's the thing, is like when you go to Chick-fil-A, you can't get the flavor of Chick-fil-A anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, that's true. They do have a pretty unique
And the other
offering.
thing is, like, when you go to Chick-fil-A, first off, you'll always notice that there's a line there. There's a reason there's a line. It's because it's dang freaking good. But second of all, you go through that line in literally like 5 minutes anytime, no matter how long that line is, because they are so efficient with their customer service.
Yeah, and their customer service is pretty phenomenal. And one thing that I do like about them a lot is they have the ketchup packets that you open and can just dip. Those are so great.
So
Every
much better.
fast food restaurant should have those. But that doesn't pertain to chicken sandwich because they don't put ketchup on them.
I also love that the fact that you can open it that way, or there's a little peel off tab so that it's like a little tiny ketchup bottle.
Yeah, that is great. Yeah, I love that. If we're talking about the broader thing, like with Wendy's and the 4 for $4, I don't think waffle fries are that great, and their dipability is just none.
Okay, I didn't factor the fries that come on the side into any of these scores. Otherwise, some of
things
these
would change a little bit. We are
different.
strictly thinking about just the chicken sandwich.
Yeah, we'll talk about fries on a different episode.
That's a whole other thing. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So, and still on Chick-fil-A, I'm gonna harp on this. Chick-fil-A sauce. If you don't like Chick-fil-A sauce, you are inherently wrong. Chick-fil-A sauce is the best sauce that comes on any chicken sandwich anywhere. I apologize in advance for ignoring any questions that we get about Chick-fil-A sauce.
All right, if we're talking about Chick-fil-A, then of course we have to talk about Popeyes. So let's go ahead and talk about that score in 3, 2, 1, 5.3.
Okay, so I like Popeyes more than you do.
Well,
again.
that's actually kind of interesting. All right,
so here I think I can guess why you don't like Popeyes, and it's because it's still more expensive.
Absolutely.
So Popeyes chicken sandwiches, as far as I understand it, is about $5.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And so for the price of one Popeyes, you can get 5 hot and spicy McChickens.
That's what I reference everything. When I go to buy a house or something, I think that's like 200,000, 300,000 Wendy's chicken sandwiches. I put everything in my life framed in that way. So I budget based off of chicken sandwiches.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what did you give Popeyes for taste?
I gave it the same as Chick-fil-A because I actually think they're both equally pretty tasty.
Okay.
So I gave it a 7.
Great, very good. I gave it a 9.
Okay.
Because for me, there had to be, like, in order for me to feel like my scale was accurate, I had to feel like there was a best and that there was a worst, and that I'm basing my scale off of that. So later on, I'll reference a 1, and there's only one. There's only one
Yep, I have
in the whole
1.
thing, and there's only one 10, and the 10 is Chick-fil-A. So for me, Popeyes, the taste is like a 9 because it's only slightly worse than Chick-fil-A, but it's still so good.
See, I didn't do that. I actually didn't give a single one of these a 10 on taste.
Really?
And I think that really I'm just searching for the perfect chicken sandwich.
There's
one
out there,
and I'm just reserving that spot for that oh so perfect sandwich.
I don't know. I like to look at my life from the perspective of, like, you know, from where I'm at. Like, maybe there is something better out there, but I like to be happy with what I have.
And that's a great way to look at it. And if we were really going to put it there, if we're talking about, like, really just take away every other factor and just taste, I might say that I think Popeyes is my favorite.
Okay, so you like it better than Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Which I totally respect, because Popeyes is a darn good, like, I had to really think about it before I decided that Chick-fil-A was better.
I think that when I went in with all my scoring in mind, I couldn't just think about the individual topic that we were talking about, like taste. Because when I eat something, I am thinking about everything else.
Yeah, well, that's part of the reason why it is existential dread repellent. Otherwise, if it were just food, all you would feel is guilt.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and there is something that I do feel really good about finding a good deal.
Yeah,
like there's something great about that, and so when I lose that at certain other restaurants like Popeyes or Chick-fil-A, then I can't help but think, like, I could have gotten more happiness for less.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's an important perspective too, because I think that, you know, for some people there's going to be people more like me that they focus a lot on the taste and the experience, and there's going to be people like you where they're really focused on how much it costs.
Super stingy penny pitchers. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I already said I gave Popeyes a 9. On the price, I gave it an 8, and again, it's because of the whole bang for your buck thing. That for me, if I'm going, because obviously there is the option. If I wanted to pay less, I would choose to go somewhere cheaper.
Which I do almost every time. It's actually crazy. When we started talking about this and I really thought about it, I'm like, I think I've had a Chick-fil-A sandwich twice and I've had a Popeyes once. And it's mostly because when I'm in the mood for a chicken sandwich, I can't get that price out of my head, and I almost always go to Wendy's or McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, that's valid. That's definitely valid. Oh, but one thing I forgot to mention on the taste, though. The reason that Chick-fil-A gets a higher score than Popeyes is Chick-fil-A sauce. Once again. Because
Chick-fil-A, if you want to promote us or sponsor us, we have ad space that's going completely unused.
Yeah, we've got spots for it. No, yeah, but so for me, if you were to take Chick-fil-A sauce out of the equation, then Popeyes hands down has the best tasting chicken sandwich, period.
Okay.
But when you add in that factor of, like, an option that you can put on is that Chick-fil-A sauce, it really just pushes it over the edge for me.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about the Chick-fil-A sauce, I don't think I've had it. Because if they don't include it by default on the sandwich, then I know that I've never tasted it.
No.
Okay, I might have to revise this. I might have to go eat some later.
We're going to have to redo this whole episode because you've never had Chick-fil-A sauce.
Is that really going to change it that much?
Oh my gosh. It is going to change it that much. That's the thing. That's why I keep mentioning it.
Okay, fine. We will go to Chick-fil-A, and I will add an annotation in one of our future episodes about whether or not it changed my opinion.
We'll follow up on that one. Anyway, For me, Popeyes, the wild card factor, I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 5.
Yeah, because there's not really anything really particular that stands out to me about Popeyes.
Yeah, I have about as much fun of it as I do grabbing something out of my freezer.
Yeah, and for me, I've reduced it slightly below freezer chicken sandwiches because the first 2 times that I ever tried to get a Popeyes chicken sandwich, they were sold out.
Oh, wow.
They were gone. You could not get them.
Huh.
And for me, that kind of makes me feel bad because if I want a Popeyes chicken sandwich, there's this variable of, like, I don't know if I can have one. Yeah, what if that's my hankering and it's just not there?
If you drive all the way out there with a specific desire in mind, yeah, that would lower my points as well.
It just hurts.
Yeah, I give it a 4 for the price and then a 5 for wild card.
Yeah. So did you have anything that stand out on the wild card?
I mean, one thing that I do think is kind of fun about Popeyes is everyone that I've ever went to, I swear they hire just the zaniest people, and it's kind of fun to go in there and just, like, everybody in the back is shouting for some reason. The music's on way too loud, and it's just a specific, very Popeyes thing, and so that's kind of fun.
I've never actually gone into a Popeyes.
Oh, really?
No.
I've never gone through the drive-thru at Popeyes.
I've only ever gone through the
Because it's down the street from me, so I just walk there. So.
Yeah, that's true. No, yeah, I've never been inside. Maybe I have. No, definitely have never been inside of Popeyes.
Oh, man, if we're including sides, they have better sides than Chick-fil-A.
Really?
For sure. Yeah.
Again, I've never had their sides.
And we're gonna have a whole sides episode.
Yeah, definitely. Fries is gonna be a big one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we could do a fries episode.
Fries.
Oh,
Fries bring out my inner fat kid for sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay, next up is Carl's Jr.
Oh, I thought we were doing Oh shoot, I forgot to put a Carl's. Oh, I gotta rate this first. What's like? We just ate it too.
Pause the podcast.
Okay, I can think about this really quick.
Okay,
here.
hold on.
All right, taste.
I'll stall.
Is it still on my lips? So let's do.
No, you can't say what it is out loud because it's still gonna be a blind test, even though you're thinking of it super last minute.
I got this. Okay, price. Oh, the price was bad. I mean, we don't know what the price was. Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. 5.6.
Okay, so we're really close.
That's pretty close. Yeah.
So what did you do for taste?
That's like one number different from each other. So for taste, I did a 7. For me, it tasted really good, but even though I scored it higher than a freezer chicken sandwich, I don't think it actually tasted better than a freezer chicken sandwich, but it had a distinctive taste to it.
Yeah, it's got that Carl's Jr. taste, and that's why I give it a 7 as well. Yeah. So 7 for taste, and I do think it tasted pretty dang good.
Yeah.
I liked it quite a bit, and I'm thinking of it in a much better price point because almost every time that I've gotten Carl's Jr., I always go with their coupons, and they almost always have like a 2 for $6, so it's only like $3. Yeah. Whereas if you buy it full price, it would definitely change.
Which I did. I should probably mention that I had never been I had never had a Carl's Jr. chicken sandwich before today. That we went because I mentioned that I had never had the chicken sandwich there.
Yeah, we were doing research for the podcast.
Yeah,
we should get paid for those hours.
This is
we
my
don't get paid at all.
This is my most recent review is based off of an experience that I had about
it's
an hour
literally
ago.
Still on the tip of your tongue.
No, it really is. So for me, I gave the price for Carl's Jr. chicken sandwiches a 3. And it's because it felt like it was overpriced for what I was paying for the taste, and it had that Carl's Jr. taste, and it did taste really good, but I just thought to myself, even though it's got the Carl's Jr. taste, I don't crave that.
Yeah, I do tend to get Carl's Jr. cravings sometimes, but it's more for their burgers than their chicken sandwich because I'm always craving their Western bacon cheeseburger.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to do a cheeseburger episode, too.
Oh, boy. This is just going to turn into a food review podcast. We fight our existential dread solely with the use of food.
Man, what a powerful way to do it.
It seriously
Food is just the ultimate... Like, imagine something that can give you that much happiness for that quickly and for that price point that food can.
And I mean there's like
it's hard to beat.
There's definitely studies showing that when you eat that it just pumps your body full of endorphins.
Yeah, did you see that prior to a lunch break and post lunch break, judges give harsher sentences right up before their lunch and softer sentences after lunch.
Really?
Because hangriness is real.
Wow.
Yeah, people actually do are a lot calmer and more mellow and happier after eating. I mean, that was what Snickers ran their entire advertising campaign on.
That's true, they did. Yeah, so it was a 3 for price.
I gave it a 4 for price because even with the coupons, that's the only way that I'd go and get it. Yeah. If I was going to get it cheaper. So if I'm talking about just default price, it's definitely too expensive.
Yeah, and the thing is, I looked at the receipt and I paid more than $6 for this chicken sandwich at Carl's Jr. And the reason I judged it so harshly on price is because that's how much a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich costs.
That's true, yeah.
It's more than what a Popeyes chicken sandwich costs. And those were kind of like the two really good, like best tasting chicken sandwiches. So like, yeah, it tastes good, but it's not nearly good enough to justify what I'm paying for it.
Yeah, I agree with that. So for Wild Card, I gave it a 7. Now,
I did too, actually.
Yeah, because I have a lot of great experiences going there as kids.
Same.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because they were it was only McDonald's and Carl's Jr. in our hometown that had a playpen, and so that's where like every kid had their birthday party with one of those two, and they had like a rocket ship and crap. It was amazing, and it still tastes the exact same as it did when I was a kid.
It seriously does. Like, I distinctly remember, and this is why I gave it a 7 too, is because of that kid factor of being a kid going to Carl's Jr. But the thing that for me made me give it a 7 is the chicken sandwich reminded me of the chicken nuggets because it's the same flavor.
It tastes exactly.
And they had, I don't know if they still have it, I haven't had it, but they had these star-shaped nuggets.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, because that was their mascot was a star.
Yeah.
With like a weird face on it.
Oh, geez, we didn't even mention that Carl's Jr., if you're on the East Coast or like Midwest, it's called Hardee's.
Yeah, they're the same thing.
Yeah, so they've got the star as the logo and stuff. I just remember eating like one of the star.
Yeah, at a time you cut like you're biting each of the points and then you're left with like a circle in the middle.
Yeah, and then you would eat that. That's why I gave it a 7, is because of that.
Man, okay, I'm gonna get some flack for this one, but when I was a kid, I used to. This is probably the grossest way I could put it, but I used to skin my chicken nuggets from McDonald's. I used to eat the breading off of it until it was just the nugget itself, and then eat the nugget.
Are you a psychopath?
I also get made fun of a lot from my friends because they say that I fold my fries.
What?
So instead of just grabbing them and just dipping them, I take a bundle and then I fold them in half and dip them all at once.
Oh my gosh! What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I got some weird eating
I did
habits.
not know this about you.
I don't do it anymore, but like I did as a kid. I did used to eat them.
Okay, so I can see where you're coming from in that when I was a kid, I used to think that chicken was the skin on KFC chicken.
Oh.
Because the breading, like, I just thought that the breading tasted so good, and so I would just eat the breading off of it.
Oh, yeah.
And my parents would be like, there's still more meat there, and I'm like, but I ate all the chicken.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? This is actually a perfect way to segue into our next one, KFC.
Yeah, KFC. Okay, so KFC, what was your score in 3, 2, 1, 6?
5.6.
So that was pretty
yeah,
close.
if I round it up, it would be the same. Man,
Yeah.
I kept mine all like the points. I got to get down to the decimal level to really rate these correctly.
Yeah, so for me, the taste of KFC was better than Carl's Jr., worse than Popeyes. I gave it an 8.
Okay, I gave it a 6, but you know, I have so many weird stories around KFC because that was my first job.
Yeah.
I worked at a KFC Taco Bell, and I think that the taste when I first worked there, I loved KFC, but after I got to watch how it was made, totally changed it because. Okay, maybe it was just the one that I worked at, but they did not have the greatest food safety habits.
Yeah.
And so the one that I worked at was the second busiest KFC in the country. And so you got a lot of people that eat a lot of fried chicken.
That's true. I did not realize that.
Yeah, it was always crazy busy, and we were constantly I was the cook, so I made all that chicken. But
so for price I gave it a 4.
Okay, I gave it a 5. It's a little bit more affordable, and I'm also thinking of it. I used to get it for free when I ate there, I worked there, so that was kind of nice.
That's true. I almost feel like that's a wild card factor, though.
See, you know what's kind of funny? Because I gave the wild card only a 6 because most of those memories were pretty bad.
Yeah. No, yeah. So for me, with the price, I mean, I don't really know what a KFC chicken sandwich costs.
Yeah, well, because I've never bought one on its own. I always buy like the $5 fill-up.
Exactly.
And that's a good deal.
It is.
Because you get everything else on top of it.
That's true. But I mean, $5 fill-up or a Wendy's 4 for $4.
That's true, for an extra $1. But you do get a cookie with KFC. I mean, it's not a good cookie.
Yeah.
But it is there.
I don't think a cookie is worth the extra $1 for me. I also used to work at Chip Cookies, though, and they have the best cookies.
Oh, yeah, so, those are pretty good.
Paying for like a Walmart cookie to come with my $5 fill.
I don't even know if it was like Walmart quality cookie. They came pre-baked. At least when I started working there.
Oh, they would ship it to you already baked?
Well, no. Okay, so actually it changed halfway through. So first we used to just get these frozen trays where they were all like pre-put out and then you just put them in the oven. Okay. And then they switched to giving us pre-packaged ones, and those were terrible. Yeah. The ones when we actually baked them were actually pretty decent.
That does sound significantly better.
Yeah, I felt like they were good, but
I could probably justify paying the extra $1 for a freshly baked cookie.
Yeah, it tasted pretty decent, and you get like what, 2 sides? Oh no, maybe you only get one side in the sandwich and
a drink, right?
Oh man, no, Wendy's 4 for $4 is still better.
No, yeah, I can't justify it. For me, I gave KFC a 6 on the wild card factor as well. Okay, and I think the reason that I did is solely because KFC is like notorious for their chicken.
Yeah, I mean, it is in the name.
Yeah. and because of Colonel Sanders. That was like the only reason I gave it. That was the only wild card factor I could think of.
Yeah,
for
you do
KFC.
remember it a lot. You know, I never ate the chicken sandwiches specifically because they have better things there, and so I've actually only had a few of their chicken sandwiches.
That's exactly what it is. Is when I go to KFC, I go there to get like a huge bucket of chicken that they've deep fried.
Well, and one thing that I loved about the one that I worked at was it was a split between a Taco Bell and a KFC.
Yeah.
And so I'd just mostly get the Taco Bell side, especially because we could make our own crap. Okay, this was the best part of the job.
Oh.
So you could just make your own tacos, and I used to make Doritos Locos Gordita Crunch with nacho cheese slathered all over it with like triple meat. It was amazing.
That sounds like heaven.
It almost made me not want to quit. Just not enough.
Have you ever asked them to make it outside of your work?
Oh man, if anybody that I knew still worked there, I probably would ask them. But I think when I quit, I didn't go back for like 2 years. So.
So next time I go to Taco Bell, I'm gonna ask them for a cheesy gordita crunch made with the Doritos Locos triple meat.
And then just lather on the nacho cheese because that's the best part.
All right.
It's horrible for you, but I mean, you don't go to Taco Bell because you're on a diet.
Yeah, that's true. You go there because you would like to destroy yourself.
Exactly, because it's 11 o'clock at night and everything else is closing.
Okay, so last up is Burger King. Okay. And it's in the name. It's not called Chicken Sandwich King.
That's true. Still doesn't help with its scoring. Okay. So let's do this in 3, 2, 1. 1.7. Oh my gosh! That's perfect. Okay. So, what did you give the taste?
Okay, for taste I gave it a 2.
Okay, I gave it a 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave it a 3 because it's not that bad. Like. If anything, it's also not too expensive and everything. And, whatever, it's food. It gives me calories and I don't starve to death. The 3.
So I gave it a 2. I don't even know. Like, I've definitely had Burger King chicken sandwiches on multiple occasions, and I still don't remember what it tastes like.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get the taste in my head, but I don't think I like the taste of Burger King food.
It just... No, it's not good. For price, I gave it a 2.
Okay, I gave it a 1 because I think in my head... I could get 2 Wendy's chicken sandwiches for every one of their chicken sandwich. And I would rather have 1 Wendy's chicken sandwich than 2 Burger King sandwiches. So I think it's at least 4 times worse of a price than that.
Yeah, no. So that's definitely not good. And for me, I gave the wild card factor a 1.
Me too. I have no experiences. I can't even remember the last time I went to a Burger King.
It's just... I feel like Burger King, the only time that I go to Burger King is when it's literally the only option. Like, I'm in the middle of nowhere driving, and I have to fill up for gas, and I'm stupid hungry. Yeah,
the one thing I will give to Burger King, and has nothing to do with chicken sandwiches, is they have amazing Oreo shakes.
Really?
Yeah, I think they are the one that has the Oreo brand for their shakes.
Well, so do a lot of people, actually.
Oh, really?
A lot of people have.
They just have amazing. I think they're like 1,000 calories because it just tastes like straight diabetes every sip. But it's so good. When my wife and I went to go hike up Mount Timpanogos, we ate that right before we went. Terrible choice, but it was a great day and it was so delicious. I probably would still do it again. Solid 5 out of 7.
Oh my gosh. That's almost like cheating though, because you can put Oreos into literally any ice cream and it will make it 100 times better.
Oh yeah, and plus I think they're just like, doesn't taste quite sugary enough. More sugar!
No, like for me, I have like a very... I don't mean to make this into a pun, but I have a very vanilla sense of taste when it comes to ice cream. I don't like the super fancy, like, we put like Reese's graham crackers, hot caramel fudge.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I think that you need to be able to stand on your taste with 1 or 2 ingredients max.
Mm-hmm. So I really like vanilla ice cream, and I really like vanilla with Oreos.
Oh yeah, cookies and cream is just such a solid ice cream choice.
It's hard to beat. Like for me, the top 2 are cookies and cream and black raspberry chocolate chip.
I totally agree. I was just gonna say, like, have you ever had this? And that is the best kind.
I used to think that cookie dough ice cream was my favorite until I tasted black raspberry chocolate chip,
so
and
good.
I realized it was my favorite flavor all along.
Yeah, cherry chip is so good, man. But I also like mint chocolate chip. That's pretty good.
It's decent. I kind of flip flop on mint chocolate chip because there's times when I definitely want mint chocolate chip.
I like how we just turned to ice cream.
Well, it's relevant.
Yeah.
It's still existential dread repellent. But like for me, I don't know. Mint reminds me of 2 things: It reminds me of toothpaste, and it reminds me of chewing gum.
Oh, weird. Okay.
And I don't like chewing gum. It grosses me out for some reason.
Huh.
I do like toothpaste, though. I like brushing my teeth, and so for me,
That's good.
Do I
Especially when you're talking about eating so much ice cream.
And so for me, it's like this is not an actual conscious thought, but sometimes when I'm thinking about getting mint chocolate chip, I'm like, so do I want my mouth to taste like toothpaste and ice cream?
Oh man, I see it in a totally different way because I like the flavor that it gives you afterward. Because I'm like, okay, I ate something super sugary, but my mouth tastes fresh and like it tastes, I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, and like I definitely love the Arby's mint shake.
Oh, the Andes mint ones.
Oh.
It's because they put Andes mints in them. They're so good.
Again, it's almost like it's cheating.
Part of the only reason why it's kind of fun to go to Olive Garden is when the server comes and gives you Andes mints, and you're like, can I have like 40 more?
Yeah.
Every one that you give me, I give an extra % tip.
All right, so overall scoring, what was your highest?
Okay, I gave the highest to Wendy's. Yeah.
Wendy's. Okay, so my highest obviously was Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
You can't beat it. When you need Chick-fil-A, you've got the craving. You can't go anywhere else.
Yeah, and you guys might be thinking there's a number of fast food chains that are pretty abundant, like Raising Cane's or Zaxby's or restaurants like that. But we don't really eat the chicken sandwiches from there.
Yeah.
If we wanted to go straight just their chicken, then I think that we have some very strong contenders that we can include on this.
Because Raising Cane's has some dope.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, and I like Zaxby's a lot too, and so and then there's a couple.
And I'm sure you guys could probably send us a million emails at tgtpodcastofficial@gmail.com that we would be able to try and review, but this is kind of what we were able to think of as like some of the most notorious places for chicken sandwiches.
Yeah. And if you guys do have chicken sandwich suggestions, please send them our way because I'm always looking for. Still need that number, that 10 on taste.
Still looking for his.
It's
10.
out there somewhere.
It's part of his life quest. Unlike me, who I have found my chicken nirvana.
You know, it's kind of funny. I actually think maybe that's why I haven't given it anything a 10 yet, because like I almost don't want there to be a peak. I just want chicken sandwiches to keep getting better. And so I have something to look forward to, this constant hunt. If I found the best one, then it's over. But then again, I could have a million of those 10.
If you found the best one, I don't feel like you'd be that let down.
Yeah, I'd probably just move on to finding the best of something else.
Yeah. All right, so what was your worst?
The worst by far was Burger King.
For sure.
I'm so surprised of how close we were on that.
Seriously.
That's nuts. Our mutual hatred of the Burger Kings.
I don't know. The only places that I can think of that you can actually find a Burger King are like those gas station towns in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they're always attached to a gas station.
Yeah.
Because it is gas station food. I'm sorry, Burger King.
Bad.
But,
it's just bad. Okay, one thing that is good about Burger King, though, is I don't know if they still do it, but you can get like 10 nuggets for $1.50.
Oh, that's just... What are they putting in that to make it that price?
Seriously. But like, I distinctly remember I was driving back to Salt Lake City from Idaho, and I stopped at one of the gas station towns, and I grabbed 10 nuggets. I probably went with 20, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Knowing myself. I went with 20 nuggets for $3, and I was driving home and dipping my chicken nuggets in ranch, because without ranch, it's literal trash. And I was just thinking to myself, driving 80 miles per hour down the freeway, like, man, what an age that we live in, that I can be driving a metal box 80 miles an hour down a paved road, eating mass-produced chicken nuggets, and dipping it in mass-produced ranch. What other generation has ever been able to have this experience?
Such a weird thing.
No one.
Yeah. And is it good?
The moral side of whether or not what I just described is a good thing or not.
All of that sounded pretty terrible morally. But
Well, I think that about wraps it up for this episode. The editing for this show is done by Bryson Johnson. The music you're hearing now and at the beginning of this episode was written by myself, Zach Barnson. If you have any questions or comments, or want to let us know how you repel your existential dread, feel free to shoot us an email at tgtpodcastofficial@gmail.com or follow us on social media @podcasttgt. Thanks for listening, and take care out there.